Hello my friends, I'm Duchess and welcome to my YouTube channel. So, I am a Webtoon canvas creator and I have this Webtoon called The Unexpected Enchantress that I am working on. I just surpassed 100 subscribers thanks to you guys, so I decided to make a special video this week to celebrate. I also included some of this content into the episode that comes out today, so please go check out my Webtoon and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll leave the link in the description. Now, in case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm collecting all of my references and I am drawing my OC and main character, CL Starstone, in different Webtoon art styles. I am so excited for this project and I hope you are too. Let's get started. I just finished creating my template for this challenge and labeling all of the boxes. I am so excited. I chose some popular Webtoons which I love and am subscribed to. The first art style that I will be drawing my main character and OC in is the True Beauty Webtoon art style. True Beauty is one of the first Webtoons that I have ever read and it will always be special to me, even if the storyline isn't going how I would have liked or expected. It's basically about a very nerdy teenager who makes herself pretty with makeup, so she has these two very different identities. It's a drama and romance, so it's pretty interesting. I decided to do this style first because I think it'll be the most complicated since it has more rendering and details than some of the other art styles. My reference is this screenshot of Jugyoung here. This art style has pretty proportional anatomy and isn't too stylized when it comes to the body. I mean, it is stylized, but it's not like her head is significantly larger than her body or anything. The ink lines are not too thin, but they're not thick either, which is pretty nice. The coloring was quick and the rendering was pretty straightforward. I just observed the reference and used similar lighting and shading. I also put some nice jewelry on CL because the characters in this webtoon are always so fashionable, so I didn't want her to be too simple. The next style was the Lore Olympus webtoon art style. I struggled with the anatomy, but then I started using a reference photo of Mint, which really helped me out. I don't know why it took me so long to realize this because Persephone has a much curvier and fuller body shape than CL, so it wasn't the best reference. Lore Olympus is a fantastic webtoon that draws out the lore of Olympus, basically. The coloring was quick and easy, but it felt weird coloring her skin the same shade as her hair. This style was also tricky because of how stylized it is, and I struggled to find brushes to imitate the art style. Lore Olympus art has a lot of beautiful texture to it, so I tried to make it look that way with different brushes. Now that I am done drawing her, I think I did a pretty good job and the different skin tone doesn't even throw me off anymore. Moving on to the Eaternal Nocturnal art style. This webtoon is about a dream eater named Day who eats people's dreams, and his favorite dreams to eat are Eve's. Eve has sleep insomnia, so this helps her to sleep somehow. Anyway, they make a deal and they become unexpectedly close. It's a romance drama and I'm not sure what's going to happen next, but I'm eager to find out. This webtoon was made by the same artist as Siren's Lament, also known as Instant Miso, which is one of the best webtoons ever. It was the first webtoon that I ever saw an ad on. So this art style is super precious to me and I adore the way that the characters are drawn. The anatomy for this style was pretty simple and proportional. The line art is more fine than I'm used to, but it wasn't too bad. Rendering was quick because Instant Miso, the artist, doesn't fully render everything. I think that's a brilliant idea since it probably makes the drawing process faster and easier. My favorite part of this art style was drawing the eyes. I am in love with how Instant Miso draws eyes. Edith is next. I'm devastated that this webtoon is done. The last episode was uploaded last week or 2 weeks ago and it was incredibly bittersweet. It's about a woman named Edith and it shows how she grows over the years from a nerdy outcast to a strong and successful woman. I would consider Edith to be a romance drama and slice of life genre maybe. The Edith art style is very unique and I love how flowy the art is. I tend to draw less flowy and more structured and smooth, so it was a bit of a struggle to do the inking on this one. I really like how the eyes are colored in this art style and the expressions of the characters. The Remarried Empress is the first webtoon that got me into reading all sorts of fancy webtoons that take place in the medieval times or times when there were monarchs. This art style is stunning and I love how beautifully decorated the webtoon is, from the backgrounds to the characters. The line art is very fine, so it was a bit harder for me. Drawing CL in the Remarried Empress art style was super fun, and it was nice because CL comes from a world similar to Navier's world. They both have monarchs, have traditions, rules, and have to wear fancy dresses and things like that. The inking was much more difficult than the rendering. There wasn't a lot of contrast between the flat colors and the shading. The hair was pretty hard for me because the way the artist colors the hair is completely abstract to me. I think it turned out okay though. Down to Earth is next. This webtoon is about an alien woman named Zaida who meets the human man named Cade. He decides to help her adjust to human life and they become great friends. Her ultimate goal is to become a normal human like Cade, and she just wants to do all the things that humans can do. It's a romance and drama. I was also eager to draw CL in this art style because this style is just so beautiful. The reference was originally a screenshot of Zaida, but I ended up using a screenshot of Delilah instead. Anyway, this art style has thicker lines and is very stylized, so it was very fun to explore. I like the loose strands of hair and how the eyes are drawn. I wanted to put pretty sparkles in her eyes, but CL's not an alien, so I had to hold back. I think she'd be a good friend of Susie's or maybe Cade if she was a character in this webtoon. Well, maybe not Cade because he doesn't really have friends, but you know. Let's Play is up. I started reading Let's Play over a year ago and it is good. Unfortunately, I'm not much of a gamer, so I get a bit confused when I read the episodes that are about gaming. This webtoon is about a woman named Samara who is very timid and shy, and it shows her growth over time and how she blossoms into a confident woman with the help of her loved ones. This story is also romance and drama that focuses significantly on gaming. It was pretty easy to draw CL in this art style, but I did have a bit of trouble with the anatomy as usual. I should probably practice more. The Kiss Bet is next. The Kiss Bet is about Sarah Lynn, who is best friends with Patrick, and this whole story starts off with a kiss bet. It's a cute story that takes place in high school, and all the characters have their own teenage problems and they're all growing up. It's a cute drama and romance. The art style is more stylized like Edith and Lord Olympus art. The line art isn't as smooth and almost seems to be textured like a pencil. I love drawing CL's expression and shading in this art style. I think my favorite part of the style was drawing the squiggly blush shapes on her cheeks. Now that I am done with her, I zoomed out and stared at it until CL began to look like Patrick, which is fine since Patrick is a good-looking guy anyway, not that we need to feed his ego. Time for the four of them. This one is a super cute webtoon about teens growing up, and it's almost comedic. Each of the characters are unique and they're wholesome and lovable even with all their flaws. I started reading this way back when it first started, I think, or maybe just a long time ago when there wasn't as many episodes. The art style is super cute and the characters are pretty loosely drawn. The line art is similar to Edith in the way that they're not perfectly shaped lines that are super smooth and neat, but it looks perfect the way it is. I think CL and Mika would be the best of friends because Mika is just so cool and her personality is very chill but loving. Last but not least, Seasons of Blossom, which is incredibly dear to me. One of my most favorite characters is in this webtoon. It's Hammond Lee. Anyway, this webtoon is really cool and it kind of revolves around the 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter. It tells the stories of these Korean high schoolers who go through amazing changes, fall in love, and move on. It's heartbreakingly beautiful. I love the art style. It's almost like an anime art style, but it's also nothing like it. The lines are very even, like the artist doesn't have a touch-sensitive pencil to draw with, but I'm pretty sure that's just the art style, and it looks perfect. The lines are pretty fine, they're not thick at all. Also, if you couldn't tell, I use the same colors for all of them because I'm drawing my character, CL, and she looks good in blue, so they're all wearing blue. Since the characters in this webtoon are mostly in high school, I drew CL in a school uniform, so her shirt is white, but her tie is blue, so I guess that works. I think CL might be good friends with Bami, but she might not get along with Seon Hui because Seon Hui is very sassy and has a lot of attitude, which is somewhat similar to CL, and sometimes people with similar personalities don't really get along. Or maybe it's the opposite way around. I guess it depends. I'm just adding some extra details and I am done. This art challenge was so much fun. I loved imagining Ciel in these other worlds and drawing her based on these Webtoon art styles. Let me know down in the comments below which art style you think Ciel looks best in. Once again, thank you to all of you for supporting me on Webtoon, YouTube, and Instagram. I am incredibly thankful for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this challenge. If you found it entertaining, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get notified. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next week.